Chris, thank you. Dr. Scott Hamilton's here, and Scott, thank you, Dr. Scott, thank you so much for you earned it, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about concussions, and what exactly is a concussion?
Yeah, a concussion doesn't show up on scans, not on CAT scans, MRIs. It's microscopic injury where you hit your head and you get shook up, and it causes headaches and sometimes nausea and confusion, sometimes vomiting, and can be pretty serious. Yeah. So it's not something we mess with.
No, not at all. And I had one professional football player tell me he had over 1,000 concussions.
Yeah, and the damage is additive, so you got to be careful, especially with your football players and your kids, because after one, the second one's easier, the third one's easier and worse.
Yeah,
1,000, that poor guy.
Man. But he was talking about throughout practice and all that stuff. So, but what should parents and coaches look out for?
Yeah, so if your kid hits their head and then has a terrible headache, light is bothering their eyes, noise is irritating them, or again, nausea and vomiting, or of course, if they're knocked out, you need to see a doctor. And not a walk-in clinic, it's not walk-in clinic stuff, because they need a CAT scan to make sure there's nothing worse like brain bleeding, and coaching about what it's going to take to heal safely and properly for this concussion. You really got to see a doctor, and if you can't see your doctor in the office, come see us.
Gotcha. And so there's a recovery process that takes place with this. I kind of have firsthand knowledge of this. My son had one.
You went through the whole classic case over here.
Yeah, but talk about the recovery and what goes into that.
Yeah, so we got to do a couple things to rest your brain and let it heal. First, physical and brain rest. That's about 1-2 days of brain rest with no homework, maybe a day off of school. They used to do that like 3 or 4 days. Now it seems like only 1 or 2 days, and then you need to get back at it a little bit, including starting some light activity, going for some walks, very, very light workouts. If you're in sports, and particularly football, you need a gradual return to contact, okay? That still takes a couple of weeks to get back to playing. A week of working out, no headaches, a week of drills, no headaches, a week of scrimmage, no headaches, then you can finally go back to full contact. So again, the coaches got to be careful getting their kids back into play safely, so they're not that football player who, ends up rattled at the end of his life with Parkinson's disease and that kind of thing.
Correct, absolutely. Some great information here. Is there anywhere people can get more information about this?
Well, you can see this again at KLF. Put in Scott Hamilton KLFY in your search engine. You're going to see all kinds of advice from me. It's how to keep your parents from not fretting.
There you go.
and keep your kids out of the emergency department, so you don't have to see me, except here on Passe Partout.
There you go. Thank you so much, Dr. Scott Hamilton. Appreciate you. All right, parents, don't fret. We'll be back. More Passe Partout after this.